What's going on YouTube? It's Mike Nice coming to you with some more FIFA 19. Today I got a nice little draft. Actually, should I say nice? The outcome wasn't too great. Definitely not what I wanted, but we did get a nice player out of the pack that I will be using. And man, let's just get right to it. Yesterday was a debacle. I mean, that game, Manchester City versus Liverpool, was such a good game, and like the announcer said a couple times, like this game is a game that needs shots on goal, and for a long time there was really no shots. It was like each team was just it was like very FIFA-esque. It was like each team is taking their turn. Each team is taking their turn to like try to protect and inch their way to the yard box. No one was really like Liverpool. I think played with way better pace. If I had to, I don't know if there was some stat for that. If I had to guess, they seem like they're for the most part, I would say for the majority of the game, their counterattack seemed like it was working better. But of course that's a terrible shot. No one watched that, please. Thank you very much. But you know, our opportunities were, I guess, better, you know, in the sense of our opportunities produced a penalty. Could have produced another one with Aguero, which I didn't think it was a penalty. It could have been called. I don't think it was right or wrong. I think if he would have called it, it would have been okay. If he didn't call, like if it wasn't called, it would have been cool. But you know, the Sane one was definitely a penalty, and that's exactly, I was talking about that last episode. That's what Sane brings, is that unmatched talent, practically. Really, like, it's not unmatched. Obviously there are people very talented, but you know, that talent of pace and dribbling and shooting ability and passing ability is just, it seems like it's not rare to see nowadays. And that was such a great save. I forgot who my goalie is right now. I want to say, let's see, playing with mostly a Premier League team. It might be David De Gea, maybe, but yeah, because anytime you see him, it's like, even if he's not a part of what sort of league I'm using in that current draft, I'm probably still gonna pick him, unless, you know, I get like Manuel Neuer and I have a German team or Bundesliga team, or if you know, if I get like a La Liga team, I will use obviously a black. But that's a great header right there. And Bernard, I got him on, wait, do I have him? No, I don't have him. Well, I'm tweaking. I bought him for SBC, and I almost, this game here, like literally this game right here, made me almost keep him, but I still used him in that SBC. But yeah, he's a good player, actually. I would love to get an info because he's so pacey. He has great dribbling. But back to what I was saying, which I kind of forgot, but I'm going to go back to along the lines of what we were talking about.
It's a very good interception.
Leroy Sané is pretty much him in the game. Him and Sterling in the game is like a guaranteed. And then now that I'm kind of realizing it in my head, like look who I have on the wing, and I could have got Raheem Sterling. Like, could have got Sterling in this draft if I'm not mistaken. And I like Riyad Mahrez a lot in this game because I love the dribbling in this game, and he's really obviously amazing at dribbling. But boy, unless he makes it up in the near future, and it has to be the near future, unless he makes it up in the near future, I am going to be very upset at him for a pretty long time. But with Leroy and Sterling, it's like guaranteed you're gonna get at least 5 great chances off of those two alone, because they are so fast and so good dribblers and such good have such great positional sense, and especially Sterling. A lot of people like to doo-doo on his, and I was so terrified right there. So terrified. A lot of people like to doo-doo on I guess his play, so to speak, and it's so not warranted because Sterling is, I would say, other than Mo Salah, there is no right wing player in the Premier League that you can say without a doubt is better than Sterling. I would love to hear exactly who, someone would bring up other than Mo Salah, because other than Mo Salah, what do you really have in the Premier League that is enough of a talent, enough of a player that you're just like, yeah, he's way better than Sterling. There's no question. I don't think there's anybody, let alone being someone that, I would pick over him. There's really no one I would pick over him in the Premier League besides Mo Salah. So I think that's so unwarranted, especially for him as a player. Seems like it's kind of in the sense of people just want to pick on him, which is, I think it's his stature. His race, so to speak, being black in England, but it's so not warranted. He's such a great player. I forgot what's his name. Oh man, it's a pretty big FIFA YouTuber, and I can't remember his name. It starts with an N, and I can't remember. He's man, how did I forget it? But when Sterling came up on the top 100, I think Sterling has a 73 shot, and he goes, how? Like, I understand, there's a lot of chances that he misses and stuff like that, but his attacking sense, his attacking position in the game should be like 90 something or above. His finishing should be really good. Obviously there are things that would weigh him down, but there's no reason. Sterling had I think 18 goals in all competitions last year. That's not, you can't be bad at shooting and get that. Like, that's impossible. Goals are too hard to come by for you to be bad at shooting and get 18 goals in all competition. So I think a lot of people need to cut him some slack because he is one of the better players in the Premier League. Definitely top 15 easily, I would say. Positionless too at that. But back to the main topic at hand, really. Leroy Sané, he gets the penalty. Very beautifully done. Pace, everything to get the challenge, to get the reckless challenge from Virgil van Dijk, who is, I think he's going to be probably the best center back in the Premier League in a couple years. If not, he's already, arguably it already. But I think in 2 years, maybe in a year, he's going to be undoubtedly the best center back in the Premier League, and then he's going to be one of the best in the world. Him, Rafael Varane, they're going to be the new age. Hopefully, Stones and Laporte can get to that level, especially Stones, because there's plays that Stones makes, and I'm just like, wow, this kid is going to be good. He's going to be good at one point. He's going to be really, really good. I love that we have him. But anyways. Great play by Sané. Gets the penalty, right? And at first, if you were watching the game, you might have missed it. And it took me until I was watching the pregame. Excuse me, I'm burping and whatnot. I was watching the pregame, and they showed it, and I'm like, my jaw dropped. So who came in and told him? Gabriel Jesus was on the spot. He's the striker. He's the center forward. Usually, unless you have someone that takes penalty at a great clip, like someone, let's say Hazard. He's not a center forward, but if he's on your team, more often than not, he's going to take your penalty because he is so good at taking penalties. But Gabriel Jesus, he's on the spot, standing there, ready to take it. And in all honesty, I'm pretty sure he would at least got a shot on target. But hey, we're gonna calm that down for a second, and we're gonna get on to what happened. So Gabriel Jesus is standing on the spot, and they come over with a message from Pep Guardiola saying Riyad Mahrez is gonna take it, and Riyad Mahrez is looking very. Sorry to cut my thought off. That is such a great goal when I saw this goal, I was like, oh, that is a Luis Suarez type goal. So much power on the shot, so much power to stand. Even though he flops sometimes, but he has so much power to ward off the defender, get that shot in the back of the net. Great goal, tied it up, and let's not see if we could get a nice little end of the game screamer or end of the game worldie, something to really get the crowd going wild. Right here, get the play turned over. Now we're defending against Mane, who is electric in this game. And I just had to get that ball out of there. I should have, honestly, in that predicament, I should have just booted that ball 100,000 miles down the field instead of putting myself in danger of him scoring again, which he was in very much so. He was very much so in position to do that. But yeah, Riyad Mahrez, he gets told by Pep, well, not by Pep Guardiola, but he gets told by I think at first I forgot who's the first person to say it, but then David Silva like said, yo, get on it, like get on it. So he gets there. He's looking unsure already. So I'm like,
dramatic appearance there from the substitute.
Yes, I paused right there because I was speechless when that happened in the actual game. I was speechless. I'm like, this guy just literally scored in 4 minutes, 3 minutes. I'm just like, wow, like way to ruin that Luis Suarez goal. But let's see if we can come back and get this comeback victory, because we are very well capable of it. But Riyad Mahrez is looking very scared, very, very scared. But I was still pretty confident in the fact that he could get it done, because Riyad Mahrez has an amazing left foot. He has great power on it, great curve on it, and it's a very dangerous weapon when he cuts inside. So, you know, in my mind, look at that. And when he was doing this, something in my mind said, why did I not react to that? Because I knew exactly what he was trying to do. He's just gonna go great timing after great timing after great timing. And maybe it's just me, maybe EA really hates me, but boy, the amount of great timing shots and headers I get that still are either missed or saved by a goalie is like insane. But Riyad Mahrez, I'm thinking he's gonna come up to the table, come up to make the play that in actuality should have been made, not only with a shot on target to at least maybe get the ball back in play, or, you know, get a corner out or something. This man, Riyad Mahrez, skies the ball practically to the second row. And I was sitting there like, that's insane. You guys are now, instead of, oh, look at him go. I should have blasted that immediately. I tried to hit Luis Suarez, but the pass went too far. I should have just blasted that with Fred, because runners were coming on, and if it was a deflection, chances are we would have put it back in the net. But he skies it to the second row practically. I didn't see where it went, but that's what it looked like. I couldn't believe how hard and out of place he hit it. Like, I was so ashamed of that play right there, and I was so ashamed to be a City fan, because we came out of there with just a point, when in actuality we should have came out of there with 2 additional points. And now, instead of Liverpool, you know, dropping to third and feeling down on themselves, whatever the case may be, now they feel, oh, we're lucky, we got a point out of that, and we didn't even play our best game, which they didn't. I think it's gonna, whenever they play again down the road, whenever they play, probably in the probably in the not the Premier League, I'm bugging, in the Champions Cup, legitimately they're I think it's gonna be fireworks. I think this game was more so of, we're going to try to protect a little more than just letting 5-0 happen, or 4-3, or, you know, one of those crazy games that they had last year. But when the season gets kicked in and the stakes are higher than this game, even though the stakes are high here, I think you're going to see those 2-3 goal games, 2-3 or 3-2, 3-1. I think you're going to see those type of games with players having insane games and whatnot, because the stakes are going to be higher. This game, especially Man City, didn't have, you know, their best player out of there, obviously the amazing Kevin De Bruyne. Here we get Bellarabi, who's been my right back for some time, right? Like when I got him in this one, I've been using him right back as my right back in division rivals and in squad battles. Very weird, but it's been working a little bit, which I hate about this game, because you can put practically anybody in defending, and if they're fast, they can get the job done. But let's wrap this up, because this is the end of it. Here we get John Stones, who is one of my home dogs, and he's definitely performing really well. I'm gonna have another video come out to you guys. I'm gonna finish my thoughts. I know I just completely cut that thought off, but I'm gonna have you guys just gonna have to work with me through my rough patches. But if you like that video, go ahead and get a like and subscribe to the channel.